Robot Dreams. All right, no Wolfman yet. I was at a con last week, so I didn't go to the movies, okay? I got snow pictures, though. It was a great time. Fudge actually took these. Thanks, but Anyway, I did have to watch something on the way up. And the only time the in-flight entertainment was working was right at the start, so my first flight. So hey, here I go, reviewing a movie I watched on an airplane. What could go wrong? Oh God. Imagine my surprise when this movie is one of the selections on board. Full disclosure, I had heard of this movie before. I thought it was a children's movie at first, but then I found some reviews stating that it also has a ton of adult themes, so I figured, why not? I like animated movies, and this one was getting tremendous reviews, and there really wasn't anything else on the list that I wanted to see. What, were you gonna make me watch Wonka?
Listen to this. Noodle, noodle, apple strudel. Some people don't and some people doodle.
Maybe. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, so I booted Robot Dreams up, and once we reached altitude, and an hour and 42 minutes later, I was a crying mess. Literally. This movie made me cry. It made me cry hard. And it takes me a good amount to start sobbing too. Let me tell you and emphasize that this wasn't my eyes were just watery and I only had a couple of tears. No, I was straight up sniffling and sobbing in my seat. I have never, ever in my life cried at something like I did in this film. Not even because I was sad. Usually I'm crying it's because something sad happened or a character died or something. And I was happy for the characters in this. I'm straight up crying my eyes out while September plays. What a happy ass song for such tears. Oh my God. How did this movie do that? Holy shit. I'm learning a lot of new things about myself today. Anyway, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Why is this film so special enough that it made me cry? And why did I cry? Let me get into it. Robot Dreams is a special little film that follows a dog named Dog. Yeah, okay. Dog lives alone in 1980s New York City, just to explain away the Twin Towers there. I don't want to know if 9/11 exists in this world, but it's a world of animals, I guess. Anyway, and Dog is rather lonely, so he decides to order himself a friend. That friend ends up being a robot named Robot. Yeah, I know. Either way, the two quickly form a friendship over the summer. When tragedy strikes, Robot is left stranded on a beach, unable to move, and Dog is forced to wait essentially a year in order to rescue his friend, and the film follows the goings-on between Robot's dreams as he lies on the beach, and Dog struggling with grief and hope as he has to live without his friend, waiting to reunite. I'm not going to spoil the rest, but the movie kind of turns into a series of vignettes following Dog and Robot throughout the months and how they react to things. The animation is simplistic, but very gorgeous to look at. The colors are just lovely, especially during the winter and spring scenes. Just really fantastic work there. As for the acting, well, it's a silent film. Surprise! There's no dialogue in this whatsoever outside of some gasps or grunts or beeps or boops or robot whistling September. September is kind of the theme to this movie for some reason, but okay. Either way, this is exactly what I wanted the Wild Robot to be, ironically enough, and I think this movie has Wild Robot beat in pretty much all aspects besides maybe the visuals. It's just hard to beat Pixar in this case, especially considering that's 3D, this is 2D, but they're two different movies, so I don't know. I like this movie a lot. The story in Robot Dreams is so wonderfully complex, but also incredibly simple. I love that dichotomy. It's simply about a pair of friends or lovers, it's never explicitly stated, that are accidentally separated and have to live and grow by themselves before they can potentially see each other again. On a more complex note, it's about adult relationships and how people can grow through grief or loss, and how special people who enter and exit our lives can change us for better or worse ways. There's no villain in this story, I guess, besides time. Characters grow, learn about themselves, learn from past mistakes, and hold on to and move on from people in their lives in general. It's remarkably adult, and god damn it, it's so well done here. Oh, gosh. It's so good. I think a lot of that has to do with the writer of the graphic novel of the same name as well, which released way back in 2007, Sarah Varon. I haven't read the novel exactly, so I'm not sure how accurate it is to the movie, but it feels just as strong from the little snippets I've seen online. However, for the visuals, I have to talk about the director, Pablo Berger. Some of these dream sequences or dance sequences are just so imaginative and extremely well animated. It's wild. There's also a whole dream sequence where the film changes perspectives and has Robot start to play with the movie itself, changing the scenery and the borders, and it's just a joy to watch. Really, really great work here, even if it does kind of feel like filler at times. Just all around really, really good work. It's just a lot of fun to look at. Now, I do want to get into the release of this movie as well, considering that maybe you haven't actually heard of this award-winning movie for whatever reason, even though it released way back in 2023. Being owned by a Spanish production company, the film was first released in Spanish theaters and then French theaters back at the end of 2023. Before that, it was doing film festival rounds and scoring accolades, building up all this worth and everything, but it's odd that it wasn't until March of last year that it was picked up for United Kingdom theaters. And then it was even longer before it dropped in America at the end of May last year. But it must have been limited theaters since I completely missed it and didn't know it existed at all. So that's strange. Why wasn't this on my radar? I like these kind of movies, that's odd. It wasn't until Robot Dreams dropped on DVD in October that I even knew this film existed, and that's only because it suddenly popped up on one of my pirate sites that I scope out to see what movies I'm missing or new animated things to see. That's it. So, very strange, very, very odd. It's actually really weird too, considering the next silent film that I want to see that's also animated, Flow, seems to be doing this same thing and only had a limited release as well before dropping on streaming. Just very weird there. I will check that one out later, but still odd. Either way, I'm so glad that I was able to see this movie. Even if it did embarrass me a couple miles in the air, I'd do it again. This is a fantastic film with some great moments and tragically heart-pulling scenes and lessons inside that is surprisingly realistic, even if it's about anthropomorphic animals that can buy robot companions for some reason, and the robots can eat. I don't understand it, but sure, why not? It just works. If I do have to say anything negative about the movie, I will say that the vignettes felt a little odd at times. A couple of were interesting and rather heart-moving, like Robot and the birds that visit him and grow, while others just feel a little strange and odd dream sequences, like Dog having an encounter with the magic bowling snowman. I don't really understand why that was there. I get the symbolism and what they represent, but it still just feels a little odd and kind of an excuse to get a bit more fantastic in what would otherwise be a somewhat grounded film. But then you also have some truly fantastic sequences as well, like Dog's friendship with a character named Duck and how that turns out. It's some really great stuff here from start to finish. There's nothing gory or uncomfortable, so everyone can watch this. In fact, the only adult moment is Robot learning how to flip the bird early on in the movie, and that's it. So I don't know what people were saying that this is meant for adults besides just the lessons here, but sure, it still works. Ultimately though, this is a wonderful, fantastic little movie that I honestly think everyone should watch. Its moral is clear, and it's just delivered in such a poignant and interesting way that I can't help but enjoy it, even with a small hiccup here or there dragging it down slightly. It's truly something great, and I really implore you to check it out. It's currently on Hulu or available for rent from several places, including Amazon or Apple TV, so please give it a watch, cry along with me, and let me know if there are tears of joy or sadness, because this is definitely a movie that can be taken in a variety of ways. It definitely has its own moral that it's trying to purvey and get you to feel with, but I think this is definitely the kind of movie that can be taken in a variety of different ways, depending on how you feel about certain actions characters take, or how the ending actually happens, and how this relationship between dog and robot works. A lot of the times you don't even know if this is supposed to represent a homosexual relationship, or an adult friendship, or if it's a heterosexual relationship, or if robot is supposed to be, I don't know, trans or something. I don't think it's that complicated. I just think it's a stand-in for any relationship. Dog's gender is never called into question. He's never explicitly stated to be a boy, except in the summary online. Same with robot. So I think that's just kind of a thing. These are supposed to be genderless creatures that can represent anything. So enjoy that. Don't try to get political here. This is not a political movie. It's just a very fun movie talking about adult relationships and how we can grow, deal with loss, and how sometimes inevitability just happens and sometimes you'll be separated and it's no one's real fault. Either way, give it a watch. So I'm rambling. Ultimately, Robot Dreams gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around for another one. Yeah, oh my god, I really did cry and it was a mess. Oh my god. I had to like wipe my face off, and just thinking about it gets me a little choked up again because it's just so good. Oh my god, this goddamn movie. It's all these little movies that get you. There's all of these other like adult animated movies that will probably make you cry as well. Like I've heard fantastic things about Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, but that you're definitely gonna cry in it. Or that new one that's by the same people who did Mary and Max. Fantastic film, by the way. This one's called Memoirs of a Snail, I believe, but I heard that one is fantastic as well, and also deals with the loss and tragedy and grief and learning to come out of your shell, so to speak, but in a very adult way. I know there's Cartoon Saloon movies that are really good. I still haven't seen Wolfwalkers or My Father's Dragon, but I heard My Father's Dragon is aimed for a younger audience, whereas Wolfwalkers is up there. I loved Song of the Sea. Think that's an amazing, amazing movie. There's just so many of these really interesting animated films that look like they're for kids but have such deep, strong morals that really will resonate with adults. So it's very, very odd. I love it. I love it though. I want to see so much more. Cool. Let me know in the comments below, do you have any movies like that? What did you think of Robot Dreams? Did you cry? Let me know in the comments below. After that, don't forget to like this video, ring that bell so you don't miss a video, and subscribe. It really helps me grow. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day, and if you're not, have a better one. See ya.
I'm just a ghost in your stereo. The fading memory of a shipwreck in the undertow. You're just a